You might want to settle in for this one, ladies and gentlemen, because what you're about to hear isn't just a gory tale. It's a genuinely iconic image of two queens, one king, and enough hostility to fill a whole season of hip-hop and love in one night. Yes, you read correctly. Claressa Shields and Remy Ma tossed hands in addition to conversing. The video needs to carry a warning flag because it is so graphic. In front of them, what started as a side-eye escalated into a full-fledged WWE cage match. We'll examine every stunning cry, every leaking punch, and every blatant betrayal that reduced two titans to their knees. Believe me, this is history, not just a controversy. Let's begin. After this violent outburst, was it envy, betrayal, or a particular ring that Papoose supposedly promised to Claressa behind Ray's back? You know, everything is fair in love and hip-hop. Shall we go back a little? The rap queen of the Bronx, Remy Ma, was previously commended for her dedication to her bars, and, let's be honest, her capacity to transform minor irritations into significant attacks. Folks, this was no mere petty subtweet feud or fiery Instagram outburst. It was all captured on camera. Papoose's disastrous infatuations were with Olympic boxing champion and self-proclaimed finest woman of all time, Claressa Shields. Even though Papoose kept Remy down with jail bids, public scandals, and more loyalty tests than the Amore Marathon, our anonymous tea spillers claim that Claressa Shields was the frontrunner and that loyalty had run its course, row and center to absorb the fallout. If you were expecting Remy to remain composed, give a sneaky look, and keep things moving, you were mistaken. Sources said that Remy came into the room with the appearance of a storm about to burst, her gaze immediately going to a corner where Claressa and Papoose were standing too close for comfort. With champagne pouring and phony grins spreading over actual adversaries, the gathering started out innocently enough. Being Claressa, she refused to back down from either of the homegirls who dared to smile, or the fact that my friend was the matchstick that, before a single hand was thrown, set the entire house on fire. According to a voice memo that was leaked, the words were cut first. The industry never sleeps, so yes, someone was already recording. According to the allegations, Remy growled, "You could never be me, sweetheart," with venom oozing from each eye. Initially, she remained silent and simply gazed down at Claressa. Claressa allegedly replied, "At least I'm not an expired mixtape living off jail sympathy." Ouch! You could practically hear the scratching of the record as all of the celebrities in attendance tried to look indifferent, while covertly reaching for their phones in response to the syllable, "You're just a temporary thrill." For dramatic effect, we'll refer to one witness as Source C. He says, "Man, it was like time froze. Remy simply..." The worst part is that no one stepped in immediately, because, let's face it, no one wanted to be the guy who took a stray punch from them. The two women were grabbing, swinging, and swearing loudly enough to set off car alarms 3 blocks away from tables that had shattered someone's wig, knocked over champagne bottles, and no names went flying through the air like a frisbee at Coachella. The crowd roared, and phones were dropping all over the place as Remy Ma's or Claressa Shields' hazy videos of the fight went viral on Twitter, TikTok, and every shady gossip website from Zimbabwe to here. The hashtag joshed Remy versus Claressa, jock a battle for Papoose. Bloody Queens went viral, and one clip, posted by a supposedly famous security insider, showed Remy snatching a piece of Claressa's wig, while Claressa swung back with the precision of a championship boxer, landing a clean blow square on Remy's cheek. "You can have him. He isn't even worth it," Remy yelled across the room as the fight was finally broken up by security and organizers. Papoose was standing awkwardly to the side, trying to clean up the champagne that had spilled, and seemed to regret every single life decision that had led him to this point. Claressa reportedly snapped back, "Oh, trust me, I already do," to which she allegedly gave a bloody lip. The microphone drops, and the room suddenly, when security dragged Remy Ma and Claressa Shields out, dripping sweat and attitude, the paparazzi camera's flashes lit up the night like a 4th of July parade. If you thought the actual fight was bad, you haven't even started to imagine the chaos that ensued. The true fallout, lawsuits, leaked footage, and enormous betrayals were just beginning. But you thought that was the end. Oh no, besties. Believe me when I say that the actual war grew more vulgar than anyone could have predicted when it migrated online. Screen grabs, voice notes, and even security camera footage from the event were first sent by unnamed insiders, who were probably interns, let's face it. Papoose awkwardly tried to drag Claressa away from Remy Ma in one especially grainy film, but instead he got, in the public's perspective, Papoose's inadvertent elbow to the face was the end. Even if he was caught in the act of poetic justice, wasn't just a drunken altercation, but rather the result of months, if not years, of jealousy, betrayal, and a private meeting behind closed doors, according to anonymous sources. That is, sources who would not reveal their identities even if you paid them $1 million. A blog post from a purported family friend stated, "Papoose and Claressa have been teasing each other for a minute now, Remy. Imagine standing by someone through court dates, jail time, and countless scandals, only to have your heart broken on a marble floor in front of 200 flashing cameras and the internet." Within hours, memes appeared that showed a photoshopped Remy Ma lying on the ground, dazed with his speech bubble, saying, "Round one goes to me, sis." Another. She didn't want to believe that tonight was the last straw. With Papoose in the background, the meme caption read, "Bro just wanted some chicken wings, and now he's part of World War II." Within a day, the hashtag #UnPapoosePros went viral nationwide, and phony witnesses began to surface, lacking video evidence, but relying heavily on their own inventive imagination. One of them claimed that Claressa had been openly taunting Remy prior to the fight by flaunting a diamond bracelet that Papoose had allegedly given her. Once the cameras began to roll, an alleged leaked group chat among Papoose's close friends revealed that Remy confessed to being confused but happy about his relationship with Claressa. "Confused but happy, sir. You just got your whole life turned into a public soap opera, and that's your statement," the public responded, and Remy Ma's fans were incensed. An insider claims that Remy had already confronted Claressa backstage earlier in the evening, but was reprimanded by security. Joe wrote in a mysterious tweet, "Loyalty is rare. Watch who's standing next to you when the storm hits." Meanwhile, Reminators bombarded social media with posts, prayers, and a few badly edited deepfakes that depicted Remy knocking out Claressa in fake rematches, while Claressa's supporters doubled down, accusing Remy of being pressed and washed up and depicting Claressa as the victorious underdog who finally took her crown and her man. Because the universe has a sick sense of humor, video from a private after-party appeared in which Claressa was allegedly seen boasting about winning 2 rings in one night, one on her finger and one that once belonged to Ray's heart. Needless to say, Claressa's team rushed to repair the damage, claiming she was kidding and that her remarks were taken out of context. Everyone immediately assumed it was a jab at Papoose and Cardi B, always the messy queen, who simply tweeted 3 popcorn emojis and let the internet do the rest. But by then, the public had already been told the story. Claressa wasn't just a champion in the ring. She was the one who dismantled Remy Ma's relationship, pride, and dignity in front of Vienne, the world. Remy Ma stayed suspiciously quiet, posting no shady tweets or diss tracks on Instagram. But according to people close to her, she was processing everything and considering her legal options, especially given the injuries she allegedly sustained during the altercation. Claressa is reportedly being prepared to face a hefty lawsuit for assault, emotional distress, public defamation, and who knows what else besides Claressa. The event organizers are also reportedly in hot water, as leaked emails show that security was warned beforehand about the tension between the 2 women and still failed to prevent the brawl. It means that multiple lawsuits could be flying around very soon, including civil suits, criminal complaints, public relations nightmares, and more. According to sources, some sponsors are denying their association with violence because, although knocking out people in a ring is apparently acceptable, knocking out Remy Ma was allegedly on the verge of finalizing a multi-million-dollar brand partnership before this fiasco blew up her image like a cheap firework. This is despite Claressa's management's efforts to turn the controversy into a publicity win. Papoose, who has reportedly been quietly trying to make amends with both women behind closed doors, is a man who is living proof that sometimes having two women in your life is more of a nightmare than a fantasy. After fists flew, wigs were stolen, and reputations were trampled underfoot like cheap carpet, the real bomb started. Rappers at cocktail parties aren't exactly brand friendly, and standing in the middle of this dumpster fire, poor, confused, and regretting everything. Within 48 hours of the footage being leaked, rumors became loud and clear, and Remy Ma's team filed preliminary paperwork for an assault lawsuit against Claressa Shields. Yes, the full government names the lawyers involved, and court dates are being discussed behind closed doors in law firms. Remy's friends and family say she is requesting damages for emotional distress as well as physical injuries like sprained wrists and bruised cheekbones. Furthermore, for financial losses, because, as you may remember, the brand deal Remy was about to land disappeared as if it had never happened. It turns out that the company, a major fashion label that was reportedly worth 6 figures, withdrew hours after seeing Remy's face trending for all the wrong reasons. The stolen check wasn't the only one. Other collaborations, sponsorships, and even a possible Netflix documentary deal reportedly started to disappear faster than you could say bad PR. Meanwhile, Claressa wasn't exactly sitting pretty. Businesses that had previously marketed her as a role model were now reevaluating their choices. One sports goods company quietly took her picture off their website, while another energy drink company reportedly suspended her endorsement indefinitely. To make matters worse, the event planners who hosted the party where the altercation started are now facing legal threats of their own. It turns out that Remy Ma's team is looking into negligence claims, accusing the organizers of failing to provide proper security in spite of known tensions between Remy and Claressa. And guess what? Emails started to leak because in 2025, nothing is kept secret, not even poorly worded internal warnings. According to one leaked email, a staffer expressed concerns about keeping Claressa and Remy apart at the event. It was flagged, discussed, and ignored, which now makes the organizers appear not only incompetent, but possibly liable for the entire bloody circus that transpired. The original focal point of all this drama somehow tried to keep his head. To put it another way, Papoose has been reaching out to Remy and Claressa separately to defuse the situation. According to down sources, he has been remaining silent and refusing to publicly take sides, but in private, the tea is hotter. He has reportedly been apologizing profusely to Remy while maintaining a complex friendship with Claressa. In the meantime, Remy Ma's publicist released a statement that, while it seemed professional at first glance, was actually a scorched earthshade. Reminisce. Mackie is focusing on her recovery, her family, and her future endeavors. She refuses to let temporary distractions deter her. Within minutes, memes showing him juggling 2 phones with the labels wife and side chick went viral, and even neutral fans are now begging him to choose one or at least choose a therapist. She posted a note that read, "Claressa regrets that emotions escalated, but remains proud to stand up for herself in the face of public disrespect." If that isn't a backhanded slap masquerading as a public relations statement, I don't know what it is. If you read between the lines, it basically says, "Yeah, I clocked her, and I'd do it again." I'm not sure what Claressa's camp is trying to do to salvage her image. As the internet was beginning to calm down, leaked direct messages surfaced that allegedly showed Claressa and Papoose still communicating despite the fallout, with messages like, "Sorry it went down like that, I still got mad love for you." Within hours, screenshots of the messages went viral on all the major gossip blogs, and new hashtags like the "Remy deserved better," "Na Papoose plays too much," and "Claressa caught slipping" appeared. Behind the scenes, the legal teams for both women were preparing for a drawn-out battle, with lawyers requesting security footage, compiling witness lists, and allegedly getting ready for a messy televised trial. Settlements aren't reached quickly, because let's face it, neither party takes it easy. Meanwhile, Remy Ma's supporters demanded that she release a diss track and end her career. Rumor even suggested that Remy had gone to the studio within 24 hours of leaving the emergency room because, let's face it, nothing soothes a bruised ego like a brutal 16 bars. The world is waiting for updates, as if it were the next season of Power, and Remy Ma and Claressa Shields cannot afford to ignore this. The saddest part of all is that these three people, who once ruled their respective kingdoms, are now involved in a scandal so terrible that, even if they win the lawsuits, they have already lost the most crucial thing, the trust of their supporters. As of right now, no one is winning, no one is clean, and no one's career is safe. So the next time you see someone posting relationship goals memes about forgiveness and loyalty, remember this night's fight between Remy and Claressa. And remember that sometimes the biggest battles aren't fought in the ring or the booth, but rather in hotel ballrooms with poor lighting while everyone else laughs and keeps scrolling, popcorn in hand, wondering who is lying, who is manipulating, and who is going to crash and burn first. And that's it, people. The bloody, brutal, and utterly unbelievable story of Remy Ma and Claressa Shields fighting over Papoose and destroying the internet. The real question is, however, who do you think is fighting for her dignity? Remy Ma, the heartbroken queen, or Claressa Shields, the new champion? The next episode is just one bad decision away, so stay tuned. Because if there's one thing this story has taught us, it's that real life is messier, bloodier, and far more entertaining than any reality show. Refuse to back down. What about Papoose? Is he the real puppet master pulling the strings, or is he a victim caught in the crossfire? One thing is for sure, though. This battle is far from over. In the comments, which side you support? Team Remy, Team Claressa, or Team They All Need? Therapy. If you think this scandal is the most ridiculous thing about 2025, be sure to hit the like button.